watching CIO WaterCooler TV. I'm Viv Parry, Performance and Growth Advisor. Today, I'm delighted to be speaking with Malcolm Lowe, who is Head of IT for Transport for Greater Manchester. Welcome, Malcolm.
Thank you very much for having me.
Would you like to just give us a little bit of a headline about what your role encompasses? Because I know transport is quite a complex area, isn't it?
It is. It's a fascinating sort of business, stretching everything from looking after the traffic signals on the key route network. So those are the main roads, the arteries within Greater Manchester, to running the Manchester Metrolink tram network. One of the largest tram network in the UK, as well as doing lots of things for Greater Manchester around quality and sustainable travel and encouraging people to cycle more and walk more. And my responsibility is around all the technology that underpins all of that, everything from the smart ticketing machines that are around the Manchester Metrolink, through to the signals that control the traffic and junctions, all the way through to CCTV cameras at our interchanges to keep sort of our customers and the travel public safe.
That's brilliant. That's pretty comprehensive, isn't it? So how do you see, or have there been particular initiatives around using transport as an enabler for people? Because I guess essentially it is about people, isn't it?
It is. One of the things we're working on with the Greater Manchester Combined Authority is around the Andy Burnham, the Greater Manchester Mayor's initiative around Opportunity Pass, which is all about giving opportunities to 16 to 18-year-olds to move around Greater Manchester to where skills and opportunities are. So it's helping them to build skills to help us as the region's economy. As part of that Opportunity Pass, there's an element around free bus travel for 16 to 18-year-olds.
Wow, that's brilliant.
To allow them to move around to get those opportunities and build those skills up and continue to make Greater Manchester a great region. The technology that underpins that is the smart ticketing technology that myself, Transport for Greater Manchester, and the team have already got in place there, that we use for bus travel, not just for 16 to 18-year-olds, but for adults as well. And we're changing that to enable the Opportunity Pass, working with the Greater Manchester Combined Authority to move that initiative forward.
That's a brilliant initiative, because people often see not having access to transport as a big barrier to opportunity. So the fact that you're opening up is amazing.
Correct, yeah, that's true.
You talked a little bit about smart ticketing. Now, I know you've got a lot of innovation taking place in that particular area. Do you want to just talk a little bit about that, about the zoning initiative and how you rolled that out?
Okay, so we previously within Greater Manchester on the Metrolink network, we had thousands and thousands and thousands of different FIRs, which is just very, very complicated and very difficult to understand. Just at the start of this year in January, we've moved to a zonal system. For anyone who's travelled in London on the Underground, it's exactly the same as that. So we moved to a zonal system, simpler fares and ticketing, and just making it easier for people to buy tickets and travel around on the Manchester Metrolink network. It's a big change, one of the biggest change ever for the Metrolink fares, and in order to make that change as seamless as possible, during the rollout of it from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, we had around 200 to 300 TFGM staff out on stop with bobble hats and scarves, just to help customers understand these changes and really embed it in. That included you as well, That included myself, so I was there first thing on Sunday morning with the head of Metrolink. So both myself and Danny Vaughan, the head of Metrolink, we were on Piccadilly Station helping people on Sunday morning. And then on Monday evening, myself and our finance director, Steve Warrener, we were on the Piccadilly Garden stop helping a lot of people who were going to the football game that night. So Manchester City were playing Wolverhampton, so it was a very, very busy stop, just helping people understand the new zones and really embedding it in with the org across Greater Manchester. It was really, really good.
I think
really
that's phenomenal that somebody at C-suite level is actually there and I guess you've got a lot of insight from
We
the
got a lot of
impacts
insight. The finance director got a lot of insight. The whole organisation got insight that you can't buy. It's invaluable insight that's helping us in terms of the next initiative in ticketing is around where we're going to be rolling out contactless
Right.
on the Manchester Metrolink Q2 this calendar year. And we're just in the throes of testing that as well. And moving to zonal has enabled us to move to sort of contactless ticketing on the Manchester Metrolink.
So you're using some insights from the switch over to zonal to inform
Yes.
the next piece of
Yes.
transformation.
So there's a lot of marketing material that we're producing to educate people, and we're going out testing that with just the general public of Greater Manchester before we sort of roll that out. And it's a big initiative for us. It's probably one of the first. It's a bit of a technical term. It's called an open loop contactless payment system.
Right.
If you're in the transport industry, people understand what that means, but there aren't many organisations around the world that have something like that. Very similar to what they've got in London on the tube. Our biggest challenge is we've got gates. We don't have gates like they have in London.
No.
There's no barriers, so we have to take that into consideration as well. So we're really looking forward to it. The whole team are excited. We're in touching distance to move that forward. Yeah.
But I guess there's a whole load of testing.
Testing. We've worked closely with Transport for London in terms of learnings that they did when they rolled out Oyster and contactless. And one of the feedbacks they've got is testing. So we're in the throes of testing that at this moment in time. And
there's been quite open conversation there between yourselves and Transport for Greater London, is it?
There's open conversations with all transport authorities. We are sort of an open community. One of the initiatives we're looking at is opening up more of our data. We've got lots of data within our organisation. We do have an open data portal, and we do open some of that data. We're really keen to open even more of that data, and we've just been having conversations with Transport for New South Wales in Australia, who've opened up lots and lots of their data. They're really open about data. They've got things on Alexa and Siri and all those type of things. And we've been working with them about how they did that, what value they've got from it, how they went about it, what worked, what didn't work, so that we can sort of learn from them and move forward and open up more of our data.
That's really brilliant, because that's actually taking a lot of ego out of the whole transformation process, isn't it? And being humble enough to go, well, you did it. How did it go for you? What can we do better? I think that's amazing. Yeah. So just on an infrastructure level, can some of the transport infrastructure be used to enable other parts of the digitalisation of Manchester?
Yes, it can. It can, Viv. One of the initiatives we've been working on with colleagues across Greater Manchester. So we do, as IT leaders across Greater Manchester, we do meet regularly. So we met yesterday in Bolton, and we share things that are going on. One of the initiatives that we worked on was something called the local full fibre network. So it was different local authorities made bids to get investment from central government to improve the fibre network, to increase the ability for people to embrace digital and get access to digital services. So Greater Manchester as a whole put a bid in, and we were successful in that. And what we're looking at doing is using the ducts that run alongside the Manchester Metrolink, which already have fibre and networking along them, because we use fibre on the Manchester network. Going to use those to lay that fibre down there, and then connect up the public buildings and public utilities across Greater Manchester to sort of digitally enable those. So we're reusing an investment that Greater Manchester have made in the transport network for other opportunities and initiatives in Greater Manchester, which is a great thing.
That's amazing, and I guess they'll be in the right place, won't they? Because the tram network is in the right place.
Correct. It's one of the success stories of Greater Manchester, I think, the Manchester Metrolink.
And a not very well known one.
No, it's not. It is as I said, it's the biggest sort of tram network in the UK, and expanding all the time. So we're just expanding out to the Trafford Centre, down the Trafford Park line. We're investing £20 million in more trams, because just because the the uses of it, and more and more people want to use it. And we're also looking at initiatives to something called tram train, to see, looking at whether we can run some of the Metrolink trams on the rail infrastructure that we've got in Greater Manchester as well.
That's really brilliant. Thank you so much for talking with me, Malcolm. It's been really, really interesting, and it's lovely to hear about digital transformation for the greater good. So thank you for sharing with us.
You're welcome.